Good evening, good evening. Welcome everybody. Thank you very much for coming over and joining myself and my worms for another Friday Night Live. As it's wand week, it's Brian's fault. It's all Brian's fault. Loads of people have sent me pictures of wands throughout the week, and thank you so much for doing that. So what I'm going to do is, for Sunday, I'm going to put a bit of a collage together, and we'll show that Sunday. But tonight, because people have done so many different wands, I thought I'd just show quickly a different couple of techniques of colouring, just to give people a little bit different ideas. So obviously you see the one I did Sunday, and through the week I've had a bit of a play. So this is one different style I've done, and then I had a go with this one last night, which is totally different again. So what I'm doing is I'm going to do one wand. I'm going to do two wands. I've turned one already, so we're going to turn one. So I'm going to do one with intrinsic colours, and we're going to get some basic flat colours on it, and then we're going to do another one with some sparkly bright colours. So tonight I have joining me, bring the guys in. I have, oh, I haven't because I added them to the link. So, yeah, I don't know why Wayne's not in, because Wayne's normally comes straight. He's still here. So, there's Wayne. Let's just resize him. Sorry about that. That's because we were stood in the background talking. That's unprofessional, isn't it, what? There we go. So we have Wayne. There he is. And we have in the background, as you obviously know, the troublemaker himself. I think it's that one. There he is. The troublemaker himself. So what we'll do is we'll just oh, Wayne's changed cars now. Look again. Sorry about this, folks. We normally do. We normally do this while we're chatting, but we've been talking, and I totally forgot about it. Sorry. So let's just change this to Brian, because we don't want to be calling you Mark all night. There we go. There we go. So let's start again. In the background, we have Wayne and Brian. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us. So, this is only a piece of pine. Stick you guys in the background. So this is just a piece of pine. This was a pine newel post I had. I just ripped into 45 by 45 mil squares to get 4 out of it. It's about 15 inches long, I believe. Yeah, dead on 15 inches long. So I'm just going to rough shape this with the spindle gouge. I'm not going to do it with a skew. I'm just going to turn it down quickly, because obviously I want to spend more time on the colouring than what I do on the actual turning. So while I'm doing this, the guys will let me know who's in, please.
We can do that, I'm sure.
Mark's saying that he can't hear us.
Should be able to.
Mark, can't hear us? Oh.
Yeah.
Try now.
And Malcolm Douglas is saying there's no earworm sound either.
All right. Try. Should be. Got my bouncing up and down my live. Let's try now. What about now? Have you got sound now, guys?
No earworm sound, apparently. Give us a shout back if we can hear us now. Somebody be kind enough to pop it in. Oh, Copper says I can hear you. Shop Dog says can now. So we're good to go, I think.
Yeah, that might be because I forgot to add you to the NDI. Sorry about that, folks.
That's okay, Steve. We're used to it.
Oh, thanks for that, Brian.
Sorry, man.
Right, I'm going to start turning this.
Good plan. You want to read out who's there, Wayne?
Oh, I'll see if I can go all the way to the top of the list on here. Do I?
Or you want me to read out the participants list?
You do the participants list if you don't mind, Brian.
All right, I'll do that. I'll quickly go through who's in the participants list and might miss somebody out here because it's never complete. But first of all, I've got here is Andy Best, Mr. Benjamin. No trouble from you tonight, Benjamin. Rob from Copperell Woodturning, Darren, Jay Carlson. Evening, Darren, all the way from Australia. Doug Miller at Woodspan Brown. The Douglas of the Murnham. Mr. Eric Winkler. Gerard, the French turner, who I hope is not working and cooking burgers tonight. Greg Alexander. Adam from I Love Woodturning. Chase Cabin. Oh, trouble at Bell because Kim's in. Kim Prestige is in. Lionel's in. Malcolm Douglas. Somebody with a spanner called Mark the Gentleman Woodturner. I'm not sure if he's allowed in.
Dodgy geezer.
Paul Houghton, the Gisby Turner. Peter Cochrane. Shop Dog Workshop. Some real dodgy character called SK Krafts.
Oh, is he?
Terry Bartlett.
How did he get in the chat?
No idea how he managed to get in. You let him in the door. Sack the bouncer. Trevor Reid. Wivey Woodshed. Wood Wizardry by Colin. And last on my list is Woodturning, but not least, by Barry. Sure there's more than that. Catch you. Anybody I've missed will catch you up just in a minute or two.
And Darren's put in, what's happened to the slickest YouTube channel around, lol.
This is Steve watching, not Mark.
It's because I spent too much time talking rather than concentrating on what we were supposed to be doing. But we're here now.
We were talking about building shed, guys, so you'll have to forgive us a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just talking important stuff.
Trevor P. Hobby Turner's just come in.
Hi, Trevor. How you doing?
Oh. Don has just said it's evening. It's nearly 5 a.m. in Australia.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Standard time in Australia, is it? I take it.
Have you been to bed, Darren, since my life?
Probably not. I think. Greg Alexander is in. Did I say Greg Alexander?
I think you did.
Yeah, and Chisky's Wood Creations has just come in. John Corbett. I don't know if I mentioned him before.
Hi, John. Says, have a good evening, guys. Catch up later. The hot tub beckons. Watch, don't drown in the bubbles, Mark.
Like I said, I'm just going to just quickly turn this way. Wand. I'm going to spend a lot of time on
it. And Gerard, the French turner, says, hot tub, Mark. Be good. And if you can't be good, be careful.
John Scarborough's just come in. Good evening, John.
Hi, John.
Lionel's asking, where's the skew?
No, not skew tonight, mate. Just doing it. I want to spend more time on the colouring than I do than the wand. I did a wand on Sunday, so.
Some would actually say chickened out a bit, but.
No, not chickened out.
Yeah, we're going for speed today to get the so we can get onto the colouring, guys. That's why there's no skew. He's already done 2 of the skew. The whole idea of the skew challenge thing was just to get people to have a little bit of a practice with their skew. That was all.
And it worked.
Yep, lots of people had a go.
It worked. It's good to see. I mean, the amount of people that have sent me photographs, it's been really good. So I just want to add a little bit thinner.
So mostly I've done about 4 or 5 wands this week, and mostly I've been doing it with kind of just cheap construction lumber, for the want of a better expression. It's a pallet, etc. Pine, basically.
Yeah, this is a bit of cheap pine.
Right. Eric's asking you a question, Steve. Do we send the pics of our wands to your Instagram or where?
You can send it to if you got Messenger, you can send it to me on Messenger, which is obviously on Facebook, or you can send it to my email address. Do you want to type in my email address, Brian? If I tell you what it is,
Oh, can I? I don't know. What is it, Steve?
SK Krafts, all lowercase.
Yep.
At btinternet.com.
Okay, mate.
So you can either send it to me on Messenger, you can send it to me on Instagram, or you can send it to my email, whatever's easiest for you.
That's SK Krafts with a K, remember, guys.
Yeah, skcrafts at btinternet.com. That's it. Perfect.
Because
All lowercase.
Steve can't. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Most emails are lowercase, are they not? I thought they were all lowercase, in fact.
Peter Cochrane's just put in that Nick the Flamin' Turner did a skew premiere just now, but not with a skew. Okay.
Say it again. He did a skew premiere without a skew.
He did without a yeah. That's certainly
Okay.
what Peter said anyway.
Did you enjoy it, Peter?
So Benjamin's put in, I think we should have a weekly challenges where Brian gives away Simon Hope tools to first, second, third, fourth, and fifth places, and anyone who enters gets some free CA glue.
Yeah. I warned you, Benjamin. I've got a spanner here. You could be getting in time out shortly. Oops.
I'm just wondering what the challenge is going to be next week.
Well, I put a challenge out today.
Oh, did you?
Did you? What was it? I missed it. What was
Right, to turn a box either end grain or side grain, but you can't use a drill or forcing a bit to hollow out the inside. It's all got to be with turning tools.
Okay. So with it, you can hollow it out with a spindle gouge or
Spindle gouge, bowl gouge, carbide, scraper, anything like that.
All right, that's a good shout. Good shout. So it's box week then.
Yeah, but no drill to hollow it out.
No drill to get started. So okay, I can go with that.
Is there a size or is it any size, Wayne?
No, any size you like. The only proviso for the challenge was don't use a drill to hollow it out.
There we go. I might try that tomorrow on, not tomorrow, Monday.
Barry's Wood Creations just come in.
Right, Barry?
Apparently I have to do a goblet this week at some stage.
And Wizardry by Colin said he had to go at captive 3-ring goblet DD with carbides all the way, going well till the tenon gave out because he cut it a bit small.
Oh, that was unlucky, Colin. Lesson learned there, though. Make your tenon a bit bigger. Yeah, I'd say did not have time to do a wand. Only Wednesday afternoon late and wanted to finish a bowl he started 3 weeks ago with paint. Oh yeah, I've seen that bowl. That was a really nice bowl that you did. Gerard, well done, mate.
Douglas is saying, does a bandsaw box count? No, Douglas, it doesn't. It's got to be done on the lathe.
Terry Bartlett has said, don't forget the 6 rings on the goblet, Brian. There will be no 6 rings on any goblet. There might be 1 or 2, but there certainly won't be 6.
Mark's Woodshed's just come in.
Hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark. Welcome, mate. Douglas. Ah, dear. Douglas and Benjamin are about tarred with the same brush, I think. And Doug Miller from Woodturning Round says, a ball end mill?
Not very sure what one of them is.
I'm not sure what that is, to be honest.
Unless he's talking about the Arbortech ball carver. Basically, turning tools. The inside has got to be taken out of the box with turning tools.
Cool. Colin's going to have another go tomorrow. Lucky it didn't break, he says. Good man, Colin. Are you finding this easier, Steve, with the using the gouge rather than the skew?
I find it quicker because obviously I'm not experienced in the skew.
Yeah.
So I find it quicker.
Darren said earlier, it says, once you've mastered the skew, it's so much faster to do spindle work like this. He says,
Well,
I've yet to master it though.
I think you get a better cut with a skew.
You can get a better finish on it off the tool, absolutely. Darren says, but shavings on the floor will correct that in time.
Yeah, once you get used to the skew, you can take some fairly hefty cuts with it.
Yeah.
Darren says, Douglas and Ben says, tarred with the same brush? I think they were dunked in the tar. We've been dunked in the same bottle of tar, possibly. So you guys in the chat while Steve's busy doing this, what's the plan for the weekend, guys? Any exciting workshop time planned?
Well, I'll probably be in the shop tomorrow doing some stuff, but I'm on shop duty again on Sunday.
Oh.
But luckily enough, it's Sunday's a short shift. It's only 12 till 4.
Not so bad, then.
Jennifer's just come in. Evening, Jennifer.
Oh, Jennifer.
Good evening, Jennifer.
Has the shop been busy since you've been back open in Wayne?
On and off, really, Steve, to tell you the truth. We've had some very busy times with some very good sales, and other times it's been really dead. You just can't tell.
Is the tourism back yet then or not? Or
Oh, yes. It's predominantly tourists that are coming in, yeah.
Right.
That's good, then. Country's starting to move a bit, but I'm still not convinced we're ready to open up completely. But
no, me neither. Well, we don't really open up up here until August anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Ooh.
I think we're about a week or so behind as well. So.
John Scarborough's going to be entertaining the grandchildren, so no workshop time for him.
Well, John, take them out into the workshop and turn them some spinning tops. That'll entertain them.
And Douglas has said that he can't stand on his left leg for very long because of nerve damage.
Oh,
sorry to hear that.
You need a.
Ben's asking me, have you ever had to kick anyone out of the shop for misbehaving? Not me personally, Ben, but one of the other, I think it was one of the lasses had to kick somebody out of the Kirkcudbright shop. I think it was either last week or the week before. We've got clear notices at the door saying either one person or one household allowed in. And this guy was being right uppity about coming in. So she politely asked him to leave.
Too right, eh? She was just right. So Peter Cochran says I've upset him again because he's got no workshop to go to.
Oh my God.
Do you guys hear that?
Hey?
An idiot just went past my house on a motorbike. You must have been in second gear and full throttle.
Yeah. Trying to get all the pistons to the top at once.
Yep. Barry's Wood Creation.
Wood Creation.
Go ahead,
So
Wayne.
go on, Brian.
Oh, Barry's Wood Creation has said more skew practice. Thanks, Brian. I'm not so sure. I'm not sure if he means that. Hopefully, make some finials and light pools. Good on you, Barry. Well done, mate. That's what I'm doing tomorrow as well. A few light pools because I just bought the new light pool drive center thing.
All right.
And the fancy drill bit that has the thin drill and then the thick drill.
Oh,
on
stepped one.
That's the one, yeah. So I bought that just to have a go.
Right. So I think that's the shape I'm going to go for. Nothing too fancy.
That's pretty good, Steve. Nice looking shape.
So just quickly get it sanded up to 400.
Eric Wicklow says that's a nice design, Steve.
Thank you.
Danny Boy has just joined us. He says, even all, that's a fancy chopstick.
Evening, Danny. Hope you're well.
Door 60's in.
Hi, door.
Hey, door.
Yeah, Barry. And unfortunately, Barry has said more new tools, Brian. And Peter Cochran says, does Michelle know, Brian? Unfortunately, Michelle intercepted the postman this morning. So she does know. So hence I was out getting a barbecue today.
Oh, you sweet talking her.
Trying to make up for it. Look, brownie points.
What barbecue would you like, Michelle?
Yeah. No, you can't have that one at 1,600 quid. You're not getting it.
They're not cheap old barbecues nowadays.
These are not. I made the mistake. You want the Dobbies or Dobies, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, aye.
Oh, these things are expensive in there.
Oh, aren't they just? See, Aldi's the other week was selling a full outdoor kitchen type thing, barbecue and worktops and everything for 600 quid.
For real. Stainless or painted?
Stainless.
Oh yeah, that's good. Isn't it?
That wasn't over here, unfortunately. Jared, I
In
do
fact,
have
last week, I'm sure it was last week, they had a very decent, just the barbecue in for, I think it was 169.
That's good.
That's pretty good. John Scarlett says his grandchildren are only 4 and 6, Brian, and have the attention span of a nut. I know the feeling. I have one horse like that. It just has no attention span whatsoever.
But John, if you made them one, you'd be the best granddad in the world.
You would, surely. Yep.
Because they'd have wands, spinning top swords.
Well, a wand and a sword is the same thing, basically.
Yeah.
One turns into the other very quickly.
Oh, sugar.
When you've been doing, I mean, I've done a few ones myself, but when you've been doing the ones, are you taking, certainly for the handle size, are you taking into account that it's for a child?
Yeah, I do, yeah. Take small hand and a small hand size and a kind of narrowish handle. So as a child can hold them better.
Chat's just gone mental at the minute.
It has a bit, yeah. Lawrence Badia, did we say hello to Lawrence?
Jennifer saying hello to everybody.
Yeah, Lawrence did the same thing. He just said hello, so I'm assuming Lawrence is just in.
Evening.
Danny,
Terry's just come in. Hey, Terry.
TJ Turning. Hi, Terry.
All right, Terry.
And Darren saying, lol, us colonials teach you how to use a barbecue, and now it's gone mental. Saying they used to use an old plough disc with legs welded onto it.
Perfect.
Doug's back in. He was out at lunch earlier. Now he's back home.
Yeah, welcome home.
Danny Boy says he's always struggled to make one's work. Yeah, that's the whole problem with them.
Yeah.
Just haven't got the technique, Danny boy. Well, just so everybody knows, Terry from TJ Turning's on holiday again, guys.
Again. Yeah.
Again. Yeah, I'm having to
Douglas
cover his
Mungan
live on Sunday.
said, Steve, how about doing an offset one? Yeah, I've done a couple of few with them as well.
I did think about it, but like I said, I wanted to get more on the colouring, so that's a video, I think.
In fact, what I did with one of the offset ones, I did it for my nephew Jonathan a few years ago.
Yep.
Did him a wand, and it was offset, and I also burnt runes on there as well.
Very good. Yeah, Adam from Isle of Woodturning says, so many wands, still no book of spells. Oh. I have to go back and watch the old series Bewitched.
Eric is asking, are we going to use and sparkles in the colouring?
How are we going to use sparkles? I know what and means, I don't know what to use.
There will be some sparkles.
No, not sparkles.
Not on this one, on the other one.
And John Scarborough says, Danny boy, you need unicorn hair to make them work. Wood Rosie by Colin says, no, it's a phoenix feather.
Oh.
If you hide a phoenix feather in the handle.
Someone's been watching too much Harry Potter.
I think so, aye.
Right.
Sure.
Woodturning by Barry is asking Adam a question there. Was that an H12 or an H12A skew? So that's a question for Adam. Oh, Di's in. Good evening, Di.
Oh,
Di. How you doing, my friend? Well, Darren says, hopefully Robbo will do an offset one along with a few others on, that's tomorrow.
Yep.
11:30 in the morning, Darren, is that correct?
Yep.
I thought it was Sunday.
No, maybe I'm wrong. Darren maybe tells you. I'll have a quick check, maybe.
I'm sure Robbo said this afternoon it was Sunday.
Oh, right.
Trevor.
I may well be wrong.
But is his Sunday not actually our Saturday?
No.
Right, okay.
No.
No, because he goes out at 8 p.m. local time to him, which is 11 a.m. our time.
Oh, right, okay. Right.
Trevor the Hobby Turner has said he done another 4 wands today. He managed to form a spiral intentionally in one of them. There's Adam's answered that question. There's Wayne.
There you go.
Ashley Isles H12 rolled edge flat skew.
Yeah.
The difference between the rolled edge and the kind of ordinary flat with the kind of sharp edge, does it make a huge difference, Wayne?
Yes, it does. It makes a hell of a difference because with the flat skew, you tend to be actually not flat on the tool rest, and if you've got the sharp edge on it, it can dig into the tool rest.
Yeah.
So if the edges are rolled over, there's less chance of that happening.
All right.
You can actually do it yourself on a grindstone.
I didn't want
okay.
Didn't want to do that.
I'll maybe have to try that on mine. Mine's a bit sharp, and sometimes if there's a tiny wee nick at all in your tool rest, it just catches on it.
It'll dig.
Yep.
Yeah.
Even though I did sand the tool rest and everything before.
Right. Jennifer has said that Rob 11 a.m. our time on Sunday.
Oh, it's Sunday. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good then.
Saturday. It was Saturday last week that he went out, but it's Sunday this week he's going out.
Right. Good job.
Good to know.
Good job we ain't got to sand that label. Right, colour. So, I want to burn. I'm going to burn in between where I'm going to put colours to stop the colours spreading because it's intrinsic, water-based. the colours will spread. So what I want to do is I want to put a burn line where I want my colours. So it should stop the colours spreading.
Ah, Danny boy. Fine picture of the hedgehog, Steve.
Sorry. Are you jealous?
That hedgehog just keeps appearing. That was who coined that phrase? I think it was Gerard, the French turner. So it's all Gerard's fault.
Don't pass the responsibility.
Oh, absolutely. I'm passing it to him this time. I have enough trouble. Ah, Shug's in. Evening, Huey.
Hi, Huey. How you doing, bud?
Shug.
Right. So like I say, the burn marks should stop the colour spreading through.
Jennifer Craft Creations, I can't believe you said that. She says, you have a lot of grey hair, Steve.
I do. Living with 3 women. What do you expect? Well,
That's what Nikki said last Sunday too.
we had a male cat, even he died because he had enough of it. Right, so airbrush. So I reckon colours. I don't know really. I think I'm going to do that. Go on.
Sorry, did we say hello to Andy H? I can't remember.
Yeah, I think so.
I can't remember.
I can't remember. Well, if I didn't, hi Andy.
Hi, Andy. If Brian ignored you, I apologise.
Brian's fault again.
As always.
Oh yeah. I think I've taken that mantle from Mark somewhere. I don't know how that happened.
So what do you reckon? The actual one bit red?
Oh, fiery, yeah, kind of. Even red turning into yellow at the end, maybe.
Yes. So we'll do a
honey,
bit.
Honey at the tip and red coming down the handle, maybe, or coming down the length of it.
Let's do a bit of honey then.
Darren has said purples.
Yeah, I do like purples.
Well, the only purplish colour in the intrinsics is plum, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is, yeah. Mark Stroughton has just come in. Good evening, Mark.
Hi, Mark. How you doing?
So Andy has said, no, you didn't. So for that, I humbly apologise, Andy. You're welcome now. Danny Boy has said, lightning bolt blue.
Lightning bolt blue.
With a choice of 2 colours. Sky blue and midnight blue, I think is the 2.
So why have we lost there?
And Douglas Mullen says, Steve, think of flames.
Won't be doing anything because I've lost air.
Oh no. You just have to use a straw.
Cool. Yeah, we've lost air. Why have we lost air?
Compressor turned off.
I don't know. I'll check it.
Wivey suggested ruby flame and honey. Jigsy Shed is in. Good evening,
Hey,
Jigsy.
Jigsy.
Oh, that's not good. Compressor's not working. Oh my god.
Somebody pulled a little stop button on it by any chance, no?
I don't know. It's a... No, she'd be dead. Would do, wouldn't it? Would do, wouldn't it? Because the warranty's just run out on it.
Of course. It's a year and 2 days old.
So just get a lead and see if that's the power supply to it.
Yeah. DJ Turning has suggested black, red flame and honey.
Black,
Or
red.
cherry.
We might not be getting any. Well, we will be getting something, but we might not be getting it sprayed on.
So Terry is actually away up visiting his daughter and the 3 grandchildren, I think. He was taking the wands he made last week up for the grandchildren to play with. He says, I'm just going to give them the wands, send them out in the garden, and then if they poke each other in the eye, that's the mother's problem.
And he's going to spend the weekend up A&E. Right.
Darren suggested, if you've lost air, how are you breathing, mate?
Yeah. The compressors, well, it was working the other night because I used it. Just check the fuse quickly.
Take your time, Steve.
All right, no pressure. No, fuse is fine. So it's obviously a fault with the compressor. So we won't be spraying it.
Just have to go the old-fashioned method.
We have to get tissue.
Oh, Terry has said there are 4 grandchildren. Sorry, Terry. My apologies.
Right, so let's put a little bit of honey on the end then. Sorry about that. So a little bit of honey on the end.
Ciao. Who have we got? Danny Boy suggested maybe the start capacitor, Steve.
Yeah, well, that was running last night. I don't know why. I wonder whether it's got too hot, if it's been running today. I'll have a look after the live.
Have you got an adapter to go onto your main compressor, Steve?
That is my main compressor. I've only got one compressor.
Oh, it is your main compressor. Oh, right. Sorry,
Yeah.
I thought you had an airbrush one.
No.
Steve,
I have a
want to change cameras there, Steve, because your head's in the way.
Sorry.
All right, man.
Yeah, that's always plumbed into the main compressor. Let me just move this over a little bit. There we go. You can see what I can't do now. Right, so little bit of flame.
Terry has said here, Steve, he went to Spalding today shopping, but didn't have time to nip round to see you. He apologises.
That's just gratitude, that isn't it? What?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah,
That's just
too lazy.
Pop my bubble. That is. I really want to see Ruth.
Douglas is asking me, have you seen any of the Harry Potter films? He was thinking of the Master one that is really crooked at least 3 different directions. No, Douglas, I haven't. I
know exactly what you mean, Douglas. I did try a little bit of offset turning to do one a couple of days ago. Got onto the second offset center, whatever you want to call it.
Axis.
The second axis, there you go. And got a catch for the skew and blew it to pieces.
Oh.
Oops.
So
sorry, Steve. Wayne, go ahead.
I didn't notice him come in. Homebrewer is asking, what compressor would you recommend for a beginner?
Whatever you can afford, really. The best you can afford, mate, because you're going to want to upgrade after a while. So if you can, see, mine's a big was, 100 or 200 litres, but I use it for spraying and all sorts. So
if you can afford one, I'd go for one of the pancake ones, which is a silent compressor.
Yeah.
The tank isn't that big on them, but it does for most purposes for wood turning.
Yeah.
And if you want to do airbrushing, you can get adapters. Because obviously Steve's got an adapter.
All I've got mine. I've got
the airbrushes.
Yeah, I've got mine. That's obviously 3/4 air hose all through the workshop. Then I send to a bit of 8mm flexi hose, and then it goes into a small regulator to regulate it down. That's the only way I've done. That's how I've done mine. Like I say, you don't need major pressure.
Gerard's asking you, Brian. Did Glyn come over to replenish the shops?
He did. He actually replenished the woodshed up here in the north, and he met somebody in Newry, for the carpentry store. So they definitely have stock now. I think they got about 90 or 180 tubs or
Wow.
something. I think there's 2 tubs in a box, isn't there?
Yep.
I think he gave them 90 boxes, so they certainly should have some.
Yeah. Well,
Gerard, if
Gerard's saying they still haven't got any.
you're struggling, Gerard, yeah, PM me tomorrow. I've got a couple of extra tins. I'll pop one in the post for you, man.
What you should do, Brian, is buy some stock off Glyn to sell.
I maybe should actually.
That's what I've
then-
done.
But then the woodshed is the kind of main supplier for the north of Ireland anyway, so I wouldn't want to be standing on anybody's toes. And that's where the Ulster Woodturners work out of. So that's where the club meetings are and stuff.
And Brian don't
Oh,
want to
right,
be,
okay.
and
So I mightn't be very popular if I did that.
Brian don't want to be kicked out of any more clubs.
Well, you're not very popular with them anyway, are you?
Well, that's true. That's true.
They keep on ignoring you every time you go in.
Yeah, that's true. They have done 3 times in a row on Zoom meetings. But anyway. Roger Mills has just joined us. He says, evening, a bit late, but made it anyway. Good man. Roger, thank you for coming in.
Evening.
And Douglas is asking you, Steve, have you checked the thermo trip?
I haven't checked anything, mate, because we're on a live. I will have a look at it after the live. I don't want to mess around with it now because I could spend an hour on it until I find what's the problem. But like I say, it was working last night because I used it. So it's either
They suggested the same thing there, Steve.
yeah, it's either got.
He said, go ahead, mate.
I reckon it's got too hot.
That's what he's saying. Steve, if your compressor's in like mine, it's overheated and there's a heat cut-off switch.
Yeah.
All right, Jared, I hear you. I'll get one in the post to you tomorrow, kiddo. Is it original you need, or do you want both?
But we'll do it the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, absolutely. I thought you might have done it with a cloth.
Well, it's a bit delicate in some places, isn't it?
Yeah, it's hard to get it in and get it a definition line with a cloth.
That's what she said.
She did. She absolutely did. Yep. And Lawrence suggesting check the fuse in the plug and then check the pressure switch.
He's done that.
I checked the
Check
fuse. Check the fuse. The fuse is okay.
Yeah. Whenever
So-
something goes wrong with a machine, I check it from the wall first.
Yeah.
Make sure there's power coming out of the socket, make sure the fuse is right, and then work towards the machine from there.
That'll be all right. That'll be something.
Yeah.
Silly. That'll be something silly. Actually, it's a Clark machine. I think they come with a 3-year warranty, don't they? Not a 2-year.
If I missed something in the chat here.
Yeah, it was Jigsy said the problem with having little ones, he has to have the monitor, which is next to the radio. So he's watching Steve and he can just hear Ernie drove the fastest milk cart in the West.
All right, that's what I missed. There you go. Dave Prout came in there with 2-ton Ted from Teddington. I thought, what?
I remember them days, Jigsy. Young
Yeah,
kids.
so do I. And he drove the fastest milk cart in the West.
And Danny Boy has put in, the problem with everything that breaks down is that it worked beforehand.
Yeah. You're right there.
And it only bloody well breaks down when you need it. Not
Yeah,
right,
exactly.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Just when you need it.
But I must have.
Lionheart says, gotta love Benny. Benny Hill, that is, I think he's talking about, obviously.
Right.
Oh, Eric's going to go back to work. See you, Eric.
See you later, mate.
All right.
Thanks for coming in. Enjoy your
Bye, mate.
evening.
Thanks
Well,
for popping in.
So purple, someone said, didn't they?
Yep.
So we'll do a bit of purple.
So Terry's telling John there that he has 3 6-year-olds and 1 12-year-old granddaughter. Oh, they're all granddaughters. They're all of the female variety, like aunts. Yeah, 6-year-olds. I seem to remember that. Boundless energy.
Yeah.
Of which I could do with some just about now. So you've been going 30, oh no, you've been going 45 minutes now, Steve.
All right. Are we?
And you're 55, 54 watching.
Thank you. All for coming over.
Oh dear. Checks his children, he says, Terry, my eldest is nearly 6, going on 16. Well, yeah, we can understand that one. And the youngest is 1 on Sunday. Oh, happy birthday.
Seems a lifetime ago now. My kids are that young.
Yeah, mine too. My youngest fella.
Great.
You are? So, say that again,
My
Wayne.
I said that's why you're that great, Steve.
I am, mate. I am.
You had girls too, which is even worse.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Well, maybe not worse, but yeah, worse.
The way seems to be an issue with girls.
Yeah, of course. Always one drama after another.
And both Darren and Douglas have put in about not forgetting to hit the thumbs up button.
Yep, that would be good if you don't mind. Give Steve a bit of love there. Give them a thumbs up. And if you're not already subscribed, please think about it.
All right, so last colour I'm going to put on there is brown on the handle. Earth.
Earth. Is that just a posh name for soil?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the feeling, Gerald. My youngest son is 28. Gerald says it. Jared says, I wish mine were that young. It wouldn't make me feel so old. Just be like me, Gerald. I'm only 26. Every day I wake up, I think I'm 26 until I get out of bed, and then I'm reminded that I'm maybe not quite 26.
26 with 50 years experience.
Hey, you. Hey. Steady yourself. 40 something years of experience. 42 years of experience. Oh my God.
I can't even remember what I was doing when I was 26.
I bet you was causing havoc in the military.
Yeah, I probably was.
What?
That's
what I was.
26. When? That would have been 90. Oh, it would have been. I was with 2-5 Engineer Regiment at Osnabrück. That's where I was.
I was going to say, is that not the day they started building the pyramids?
No, that was the year before that.
Oh, right, okay.
That's when I started teaching woodturning. Right.
Jeez. John Scarborough says his youngest son is 43. Oh my God, John, you're ancient.
One of the pharaohs turned around to us. Wayne, what we're trying to do is build these big triangular type things, and we've got no way to move the big lumps of rock. I says, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll teach some of you guys how to turn cylinders on the lathe.
There you go.
and then you can use them as rollers.
Perfect.
Just get me 30,000 slaves to turn the lathe.
Yeah.
Right, it's a bit of sand and sealer then. Actually, let's dry it first.
Barry's wood creation is having to go.
See you later, Barry. Thanks for coming over.
Yeah,
See you, Barry.
That purple's awfully dark, isn't it?
It is, isn't it?
it is very dark, yeah.
It's a bit dark, that picture.
Mm-hmm. Might liven up a bit if you put some oil on it or something. Barry J says his youngest is 42 as well. I don't feel so old at all now.
Right. Bit of sand and sealer.
And Roger Mill comes in and says, my youngest granddaughter is 22. Feeling old has nothing to do with it. Good man, Roger. You're only as old as you feel, as they say.
Right,
Oh,
Terry's asking, Steve, can you mix the colours before you apply them to make a different hue, i.e. blue and green, red and yellow, things like that? Yes, you can, Terry. I'll just give a quick answer on that one. Yeah, no problem.
Mix them the same as you can any colours, really, can't you?
Yeah.
So John Scarborough says, I'm not old, Brian. I was a child bridegroom.
You can make them, what's the word I'm looking for?
Pastel?
You can make them more pastel by putting the white intrinsic over the top.
Martin did a video of that, didn't he?
Yeah,
He
if you
did,
mix
yeah.
if you mix the white with any of the colours, it'll turn them into a pastel shade. Well, it's not actually a colour on its own. It doesn't. If you try putting it on, it doesn't be white.
Yeah, and I would recommend never using the white in an airbrush.
Yeah, it's very lumpy, isn't it?
It is, and if you do buy the intrinsic colours, the full set with the white, you will notice after no time at all that the white separates and all the pigment goes to the bottom.
It does indeed.
I've been trying. What's happening here? Brian's come on by himself now on full screen. Now we've got split screen.
You're on full screen on my screen too, Wayne. It's the Zoom thing's playing up a bit.
Right, because I've been trying to get Steve just on full screen for most of this live, and I can't do it. This is on because I'm on Skype on my pad.
Right.
All right. Yeah.
Right. Just quickly burnish this. Or denib it, shall I say? Not burnish it.
So Terry says, thanks, Wayne. I've just bought a trial pack, so it'll be my first use later.
Nice one.
Terry doesn't do colouring very much. In fact, Terry doesn't do colouring at all on wood. He's a really good artist, though, but he doesn't do
This
colouring on
artist?
wood. Yeah, maybe so. But he says, I am old, Brian, and I feel like it. Nah,
Right, Jennifer's asking me, can you use the Joe Sonia paint on a wand? Yes, Jennifer. I've never actually done it on a wand, but I've used Joe Sonia paints on wine glass stems, gin glass stems. Oh, there's one that Steve's done.
They're all Joe Sonia paints. Or colours,
Yep.
shall I say?
I've done one as well.
So yes, no problem.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some beads with the Joe Sonia, funny enough. Just on the joints, so we get rid of them joints.
So Homebrewer is asking, was that sand and sealer you've just put on?
Yes, it was. It was cellulose sand and sealer just to seal the colours. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to use a bit of gold just to go over the joints where the colour transitions are. Just to try and break those up, really.
That's Hugh Lionheart said, Wayne the Woodjedder, I still see Steve's wand. Ooh, there, missus. Who used to say that to our missus?
Can't remember.
I've forgotten his name.
Some old comedian, anyway.
Yeah.
Hugh's better remember. Talking about memories, are we getting close to the Maker's Quiz?
Next Friday.
Next Friday.
Not Friday. Oh.
And 2 weeks tomorrow is the next virtual crafty.
Oh, so it is, basically. Time enough getting the links for all that out next week.
Yeah, I think it's going to be over the next couple of days. I think all the artwork and everything's done.
Cool.
Dale and JP have just got to get together and finalise stuff before it goes up.
John Scarborough suggests, was it Les Dawson?
No, it wasn't Les Dawson.
No, I don't think it was.
You won't see them Joe Sonia's very well on the other colours because they're really designed to be on the blacks, but just to give her a bit of a break up, really.
You just need a dark colour as a base, don't they?
Yeah.
Yes,
Allow the
they do,
iridescence
yeah.
to come out. I did try it once on a piece of this one. I didn't know what I knew.
Frankie Howard, that's who it was.
That's who it was, yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
good
mean, I
evening, Steve. That was Steve Ellis. I did
Oh,
that.
Steve
I
Ellis,
didn't
good
say hello to
evening, Steve.
everybody.
Hi, Steve.
Hi, Steve.
Welcome along.
James Crawford's just come in.
Hi, James. Welcome. Right.
Evening, James.
So, a bit of wax over it then. Just let that Joe Sonia dry. It's dry. So I'm going to put a bit of microcrystalline wax over this. And hopefully that should make those colours pop a little bit. Oh no, that spread of the obviously the Joe Sonias weren't quite dry.
Doesn't take long for them to dry, though.
No, I thought they would have been dry. That's pretty warm in there.
Roasting here, the sun's still blazing. Excuse me.
And here, Brian, I've still got the fan on full and the patio door open.
Every door and window in my house is open. And there's not a breath of wind anywhere. The trees outside my front, even the little tiny branches at the top, not moving at all.
Yeah, it's very still here as well.
No wind. Punish me as in evening,
Okay.
kid.
Okay.
Hi, Katie.
You're very late this evening, Katie. Did you bring cake?
Bless her. He just hit the door and you asking of a cake.
She's late. She has to bring cake when she's late.
So there we go. So that's just with intrinsic colours. Let's get it out. So we
That's
can-
you just done now there, Steve.
Okay, the other one won't take long. The other one's already turned. So obviously I'll clean this up afterwards, but just break that bit off there. Clean it up. I'll clean it up after. Let's get it on a camera that we can see. So there we go.
That's a much better picture.
So there we go. Honey into flame into ruby to give us our stem. Black, purple, brown, and black again. And then just a little bead of Joe Sonia gold to break the colours up, really. So that's the one with Hampshire Sheens, intrinsics. So
Very nice.
what I did
Very nice,
earlier, we're going to do this with some flash colours. I have a metallic purple, which I want to try. And I want to try and get the same effect as this one. But obviously we're purple, not yellow.
Well, Barry has just corrected me there. He says, not on a Friday, Brian. That's correct. We don't have to stand in the corner or bring cake for being late on a Friday. Friday's the start of the weekend.
Yeah, Brian, saying you're being a bully again.
Sorry.
No, you keep getting kicked out of these clubs.
Oh, you got kicked out of one group now. Stop it.
Right, so this has been sanded
That's
up.
beautiful, that one.
So this has been sanded up to 400 grit. So I'm going to sand and seal it first off. So it gives us a good finish for, because we're spraying it, because we're putting a cellulose spray on it. Get it in the right place for me. Benefit us. Because we're putting a cellulose spray over it, or a spirit base over it, we want it to sit on surface. We don't want it to soak into the wood. So we're going to put a sand and sealer over it. So you even got a perfect sphere in the middle there.
Yep, looks pretty good, Steve. I see most people have done their wands between centres.
Yeah.
You can't think of anybody who's actually done them held in the chuck. It's possible to do them held in the chuck just the same, of course.
It's a lot easier to do off-centre ones held in the chuck.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Because you can move it about in the chuck.
Yeah.
Unless you want, I mean, you can do them really off-centre by turning it down to a cylinder, then just marking different points on the end of the cylinders and hold it between centres.
Yeah, that's what I tried to do, Wayne, but it didn't. I think I made the offset too big. So when I went to the second axis, I kind of just fell apart. Good learning experience, though.
That was Terry's fault,
Right.
was it?
Like, don't do that again.
Darren's just put in here. Just do the stem in the crackle, Steve. It'll look like it's creating power. Then do the handle in a different solid finish.
Okay.
That's a good bit of advice, Darren.
Design and makes just come in.
Hello, mate.
Good evening, design and make.
And the spare? Do the spare and that all in one? I think so.
But with yeah. Did you turn this one with the skew or with the spindle gauge, Steve?
Spindle gouge.
Good man.
Because of quickness.
That's all right. It's all right. We'll not hold that against you. It's okay.
Oh, thanks, Brian.
Benjamin says, I think I might do a double-ended one, like a double-ended lightsaber.
There you go.
That'll be interesting, Ben. Looking forward to the pictures of that. Or the video, even. Could be better.
All right, so it's a good shape. So this is metallic purple.
Ooh, purple. Somebody will like that. Oh no, Wendy's not in.
Give a good shake. Extraction on to suck all the crud up.
Katie's asking, could you do the sphere orange and the one yellow and then crackle over the top?
Oh, look at that.
Bit late now.
Well, that's not too late. I ain't done this. I ain't touched the sphere yet. I could do. Let's get a bit of line and tape.
Looks like a barber's pole. What do you use to clean the bed of your lathe, Steve, when you're
Cellulose thinners.
cellulose thinners? Yeah.
Yeah.
Jigsy suggests you could do a colour gradient from the spear to the tip and then do crackle. This crackle paint is just something you paint on, isn't it? It's like a...
Yes, an aerosol. It's
Never saw it.
it's like a react.
Yes,
I never used it myself.
Steve uses a spray-on one. I use the Joe Sonia one, which is a paint-on one.
All right, okay.
I must actually try the spray-on one.
I must invest in some more paints and stuff. I don't have many.
Let's just dry it up a little bit.
This actually looks like a bit of Mike Walt taping.
If it works.
I think Mike's never going to live that day.
Yeah. And we've got a guest EOM on Mike on Sunday. Me.
Oh, excellent.
So obviously Mark's having a bit of a weekend away this weekend, it looks like. So
Yep.
Yeah, it's up the weekend off yet.
yeah.
I'm covering for him tonight, so. You should currently be relaxing in a hot tub.
Yeah. Katie Sell has said using the crackle, she used to do it on nails when she had a beauty salon.
Yeah. It's a big thing with nails. The thing with the crackle is you've got to give it, they say the minimum of 5 minutes, but I think you need to let it go touch dry. You seem to get better effects if you let it go touch dry.
Yeah.
Okay. And Jared, the French Turner, has said more spending, Brian. No, I think I'll wait and get them for my Christmas.
I was laughing there because I saw the look on Brian's face when he said that.
Did he look over his shoulder?
No, look out the door, see was Michelle listening. There. Jay's Woodturning is in. Hi, Jay.
Hi, Jay.
Hey, Jay. So is that the crackle effect you're spraying on, or you just sprayed on there, Steve?
No, this is the base colour.
No.
No, I gave it another coat of base colour because it was a little bit patchy.
Right. I'm with you.
So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just tack this off, take this masking tape off, then I'll paint the sphere, and then we'll...
I'm not reading that out, Jared. But you're probably right.
All right.
Katie, the Cornish maid, says Chris keeps getting things. I told him to stop, or I won't be able to get him anything for his birthday, for his wood turning. No, this is true. But there's always a new lathe or something.
Peter's asking, what is this crackle stuff? Well, what you do, Peter, is that you put a base coat on like Steve has now, and then I think with the spray-on crackle, you spray that on. Is that right, Steve?
Yeah.
Over the top of the base coat?
Yeah, and what it does... Go on. What happens is it causes a reaction. The crackle paint sort of shrinks, and it goes like this. So it brings it sort of shrinks up, cracks all together, and then it lets the base coat come through.
All right, so there's actually a colour on the crackle.
No, the crackle's black. Well, you can get different colours. You can get, nearly. You can get blue, grey. They do a brown, a green. They do several different colours, crackle, which is your top coat.
Yeah.
But obviously, whatever colour you have underneath is the colour that will come through.
Yeah.
All right, I got it. Yeah.
The Joe Sonia's ones, their crackle medium works differently. You put your base coat down, then you put the first layer of crackle on top of the base coat. Then you put the layer that's going to crackle, layer of paint that's going to crackle on top of that, and it's actually got a final crackle layer that you put on as well. So it's like a two-part process. The Joe Sonia's ones. And it's not spray on. It's paint on.
You've used that before in a live, haven't you, Wayne?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, I think I've seen Wayne using it there.
yeah.
The Joe Sonia stuff, I think.
But certainly the spray-on one looks a hell of a lot quicker.
No, Jared, it just appears that I have money to burn. I haven't really,
He ain't now. He spent it all.
but I've got a my old age pension, as it's called, comes every 4 weeks, so that gives me some spending money. That's my spending money because I have another pension as well. So
All right. So let's do this.
I prepared well for my retirement.
Orange. We wanted, didn't we? Did we want an orange? Someone said orange. So this is just Peugeot. Look. Peugeot orange. Good old Halford spray paint.
Did I just see Buzz coming in? I did indeed. Bernie's in, guys.
Oh no.
Evening, Buzz.
Trevor P is asking you, Steve, where did you get the crackle paint from?
No, I never forget the place. Is it Graf City? Graf City?
Yeah, Graf
City
yeah.
paints. But I know of a place. I know you can get it off of eBay and all that. So just, it's in a can like this. Crackle effect. Montana is the manufacturer. So I know other people do it. Right. So I'm just gonna put that on there just to stop that going on to my purple.
Ben Jammins says, Wilco do a crackle spray paint.
There you go.
John Scarborough's having to go. He says, I look forward to seeing the finished one, Steve. Good night, everyone.
Thanks, John, for coming over. Have a good weekend, mate. Enjoy your
Right, John.
grandkids.
Wivey's
Right.
Wood Jed says Ed Oliver sells it as well.
There you go.
I've just put a link in for Graf City. And now Graf City do all types of paints,
Yep.
and the Cobra paints that they do, you can either buy them in high pressure or low pressure, and you can get different tops for them as well, or
Yep.
different, the
Spare
bit that you
tops.
press down, you can get different tops for them. Yeah, but you get them so it comes out in. One of them it'll come out as a vertical spray, another one will come out as a horizontal spray.
All right, okay.
And also flow rate as well.
So what's the difference between the high pressure and the low pressure way? Which is better for our application?
Well, certainly, and I'm just going from what Dale's told me. He tends to use the low pressure stuff on his scroll saw art that he does.
Right.
And he tends to find that it's better, certainly for that type of thing.
Okay.
I think with the low pressure, when you're using spray paints, and you press the top, and it just, it's a really high squirt that comes out. With the low pressure, you don't get that.
Okay. It's not somewhere I've looked, so and I haven't done a whole lot of colouring, so. But I'll keep a note of that link you've just posted.
Graf City are good. They do some really good paints, though. Really good paints.
Oops, lost the chat. Oh, there's back here. Trevor, the hobby turner, says the edge is not too far from him. You maybe have to go and get some.
Yeah, I would try it. I've done loads of pieces with the crackle effect. Get some really nice finishes.
Yeah, nice, different effect.
Like I say, do several different colours as well. So
Andy H has just said you have to spray the high pressure from next door.
Yeah.
Oh. It looks like you've got a mandarin on a skew. On a skewer, should I say. It's a nice colour, that orange.
Or just because it's Peugeot orange, or
I don't know, it's just a nice colour. It just looks nice. I like bright colours.
right. So with this stuff, you want to make sure you shake the camera really, really well. Because if you don't shake it really well, you don't get the desired effect. So we'll just give that a couple of minutes to flash off.
The Cornish maid has asked, does it matter what wood you use, or is there a wood that's better for paints? You might have to give that to Wayne to answer, I think.
Right. I find that close-grained woods are better for paints, especially if you don't want the grain to show through. If you get an open-grained wood, the likes of ash or oak, and you paint over the top of it, you can still actually see the grain coming through, which I've got to say I don't mind at all. But some people, when they want to do painting, they don't want to have the grain showing through. So close-grained wood like beech, sycamore, something like this.
And the thing is, if you want to put embellishing wax over the top of it to give you that enhancement, then you want an open grain wood anyway, don't you?
Yes, yeah, you do.
Sycamore is good too because it's kind of plain wood to start with, isn't it?
Yeah.
Takes colour well.
Right.
And Terry's asking, do you lacquer them after applying crackle?
Yes, this one's lacquered. This one's lacquered.
Yeah, I would say you can lacquer it. You can't even put wax over the top.
Yep.
Once the paint's dried properly.
Do you actually need to seal it in, but?
No, you don't need to.
No,
No.
it's just having the finish. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Brian.
I just wonder would it rub off if you didn't seal it in?
No.
That's okay.
Right. Here we go. This is the crackle. So extraction on.
Wow.
You should be able to see after a few minutes it started to crackle.
Sure that wasn't ebonizing lacquer you put on there?
No, that was crackling. Now it's starting to go on there. I might not go very good on the orange because the orange weren't cured very long. Like I say, the longer you can leave it, the better really. I normally leave mine about 45 minutes. You seem to get a better finish.
And Jiggs is saying sometimes he likes to see a grain coming through the paint.
Yeah.
I do as well. It kind of reminds you that it's actually a piece of wood rather than a piece of porcelain or a piece of resin or something. And the wood dancer has said, have you tried embellishing wax inside the crackle?
But wouldn't you lose the colour underneath it if you did that?
I don't know.
It'll probably just sit on top of the paint. It probably wouldn't do anything, tell you the truth.
Can you see that crackling now?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see it start to move a bit there, yeah. Benjamin says, all this talk of crackle reminds you of those sweets that crackle in your mouth.
Yeah.
Popping candy.
That's the one.
Or pop rocks. Copperell suggests.
So.
Hugh has replied to Terry's question about the lacquer over the top. He says, you could use CA. There are some StarBond discount codes floating around somewhere.
So I just do the handle with ebonizer lacquer. Just to make the handle black.
Yeah, it's starting to go now.
Yeah.
It's starting there now.
Yeah, that takes a little while to go, but once it, like I say, the longer you leave it, the better effect you get.
It's a nice effect you have on the handle there.
Sorry? Nice,
It's
this.
a nice effect you have on the handle.
I think that's quite cool, actually. I like that.
Yeah, it is. It is, I quite like it too.
Now, with spraying ebonizing lacquer over the top of the crackle, is that going to have any effect?
No, I'm not going to put over the lacquer, over the...
Yeah, but you have got some crackle on the handle, though.
Well, we'll see.
We'll find out.
We'll find out.
This is one of those suck it and see moments.
Ah, that'll be fine, boy. That'll be fine.
It'll be grand, lad. Aye. Hugh Lionheart says that handle looks magical anyway. I am agreeing with you.
Your Formica comes in handy, right?
Yeah, it's making a good shield there, anyway. Or mask, or whatever you want to call it. It's actually starting to get a bit cooler here now. The sun has started to go down.
Yeah.
Thankfully. Darren said, experiments are us.
Mm-hmm. My next trial is putting the crackle over Joe Sonia's. I don't know if that'd work.
It's worth a try. What's the worst that can happen?
Exactly.
You have to turn it back off again. And we can do that easily.
The thing is with that is that you're going to have a black base before you put the Joe Sonias on, though, aren't you?
Yeah.
I warned you earlier, Benjamin.
A bit too much in there.
No, Ben wants to know if there's a spell for reversing your lathe. I don't need it personally, but I know somebody who does. It took a long time for that to be mentioned tonight, Steve, I have to say.
Yeah. Just one in there. There's always one.
There's always one, yeah.
It's usually Ben.
Yeah, or Douglas.
Right, so I'm not going to go any further with that tonight because that's really wet. So I'm going to leave it like that, and then I'll get a lacquer that tomorrow. But
And we'll get pictures.
But that's the sort of, is that too? Can you see that all right, or is that too dark?
No, I can see it.
That's all right. It just looks
It's a little
dark.
bit dark, Steve, but
Just looks a bit dark on my monitor. That's all. Let me see if I can.
there's a little bit dark, but we can get. It's starting to come out there really well now. I have to say.
Have you got something white you can place on the bed bars?
Yep.
Just to see if that helps.
My P45. There you go.
Ah, there you go. That's made it pop out a bit. Cornish maid loves it.
So we had, thank you, Katie. Obviously the metallic purple, and then Katie's suggestion, the orange, which looks good, with the crackle over the top of it, and then the handle is just ebonized and black. But what I will do is, once that's dry, I'll denib it all, and then I'll put some gill cream in the handle before I lacquer it. I think just to give the handle a little bit of pizzazz, because the handle looks a bit plain compared to the rest of it.
Yeah, it does a bit. Yeah, you're right.
So I'll sort that out. Like I say, it's really wet at the moment, so I don't want to keep messing around with it, because if not, I'm going to cause more trouble than it deserves. But I'm happy.
Jared, sorry, Steve. Jared the French Turner's asking you a question. Can you use any kind of spray paint as the base colour?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, you can. I've used. I personally have used. I'll show you the 3 different types of, or 4 now. This came from the range. Let me hang on. Let's zoom the camera out a bit. This came from the range. I found this in a blue and a purple. Halford's enamel paint. It's just warehouse orange. I've got a red, a yellow, and I think a blue as well somewhere. These are colours I just bought from a cheap jack shop. I think there's about £2 a tin just to try. I've used that sunshine yellow. That's what that one was, sunshine yellow. And then, as you saw me use any colour really that Halford's, well, this is a Halford's one, but any spray paint, any colour that you really want to try. Obviously, if you want to try a bit of a pearly colour, that would be a bonus. And the colours they actually do the crackle in are, trying to see where the colour is. Copper brown, says on there, copper brown. Paddings, green. Garland blue, obviously black, and then squirrel grey. So they're the colours they do in the crackle. So quite a good selection. And then you can go over the top of it with matte lacquer, a gloss lacquer, a glitter lacquer, whatever you want really, to give it your desired effect. But this one I did the other night is just that yellow with the black over it. Then it's had 3 coats of clear coat lacquer. So
Jay's cabin has said, spray the lacquer so it won't get any bigger cracks. So is Jay suggesting that the lacquer will stop the cracking?
Oh, right, okay.
And Terry
Still a bit
from
wet,
TJ,
isn't it?
yeah, I know, I would kind of leave it a bit longer.
Yeah.
TJ Turning has said, great demo, Steve. I will have to have a go at this colouring business.
Go for
Inspired
it.
another one.
Go for it. Right, let's just quickly bring you guys back. That one.
And Darren has said, the bidding starts at 25 quid. LOL. Oh, you got my name right. Yay, well done, Steve.
25 quid, what's that for?
For your wand.
Oh, really?
The bidding for the
Really?
wand, he says. That's what Darren said.
Oh, bloody
The
hell.
bidding starts at 25 quid, lol.
I think it's a bit
Ben Jamin
ambitious.
says, can you show a close-up of the yellow one, please?
Yes, I can, Ben. Just for you.
Jay's Woodturning has said, very cool, Steve.
So obviously you've noticed the closer you get narrower, the cracks get smaller, which is quite strange, isn't it?
It's very nice, that, actually. I'm going to have to try this. Hang the expense.
But the yellow was left about 40 minutes before I put the crackle over the top of it. Really, I rushed that to the paint. Should have been really. It needs to be good touch dry before you put your crackle over the top of it. And don't put too. You know, if try and get your good covering on your first coat, because as soon as you put your first coat over it, that starts to react. If you put another coat over the top of that, that won't work properly. So you really need the first coat to be a nice, good coat. And to be honest, the way the tins flow, they do flow quite well, so you get a good coverage over the top of them. So,
Roger Mills says, nicely done, Steve. Interesting colours.
Thank you very much. It's nice to play with colours. Really nice. I've got one in here that I did. This is one of the first ones I did with the crackle effect. This was the good green and yellow. So you can get some really nice finishes with it, really can. And that's just got a matte lacquer over the top of that one. So have a go, guys. It's worth having a go. I don't know what the tins of paint are. What are they? 4 quid, 5 quid a tin, or whatever they are. So they're worth having a go. Right. So if there's no questions, we'll kill it.
Grand.
Some really nice comments coming in there, Steve. I have to say it. I need to read all them back, man. Jennifer's Crafts and Creation says, if you were to do it on a large flat surface, would you get bigger crackles?
Yes. I don't know if I've got it in now. I think Nick might have nicked it and put it in the house. There was a big platter I did and the crackles were quite big. Actually, I think there's a video on my channel. That was an orange one. I think there's a video on my channel, Jennifer. So you'll see that it was quite a big thing, and the crackle sort of went to that sort of size. So they were quite that sort of size. So they was quite chunky, and there was quite a lot of colour come through, which was quite nice. So, right then, guys, thank you very much for joining us. I really appreciate it. This Sunday we have Joe and Glyn Senior joining us live in the workshop. They're travelling down tomorrow. I believe they're with Wendy and not Wendy, Wayne and Valerie tonight. They're travelling down tomorrow, and they'll be with us sometime tomorrow. And they're going to be live with us in the workshop on Sunday. So that's going to be interesting.
That's one word for it.
Yeah, I don't know what I'll be turning. I haven't even put the link up yet, but I will put the link up tonight or later on tonight. Yeah, so come over and check myself, Nick, Joe, and Glyn, all in the workshop. Chaos is getting closer. I can feel the water, feel it in my water.
It's almost guaranteed, I would say.
I would imagine that'll be a good live. So anyway, guys, come over and check out. He's just put a question. Could you use the crackle spray over Joe sign? I don't know, Colin. I want to have a go at that. That's what I'm going to have a go next week or so. I'm going to have a go at putting them over the Joe sign. Like Wayne said, obviously, got to put an ebonising lacquer first, then your Joe Sonia. But I'm hoping if the crackle cracks, it's going to expose the Joe Sonia with the black background. That was the plan. But I'll play with it and have a look at it. Yeah. Anyway, so who's on tomorrow? Ed on tomorrow?
Not too sure. I haven't seen notification.
No
I haven't seen
notification yet. So.
No, I haven't seen. Anyway, guys, just if you subscribe to these people, they're going to come up with notifications. But I will see you guys Sunday. So have a great weekend.
Let's not forget just Wayne's challenge for next week.
Oh yes, of course. Go
Wayne's
on, Wayne.
challenge is to turn the box with using
turn the box, but the inside of the box has got to be cleaned out using turning tools. No drill bits, forcing the bits, anything like that. Just turning tools. It can be spindle gouge, ball gouge, scrapers, carbides. It doesn't matter. But the inside is purely turning tools.
Benjamin has asked there, Steve, who's the next guest earworm?
The next guest earworm is someone that you guys, I don't think you'll know. His name is Floyd. He's from Manor Krafts. He's an American maker. He's not been on the scene too long, and he does a lot of resin work, and he does a lot of tests on resin and what you can put in resin, how you colour it, this and the other. So Floyd will be joining us, I believe it's the 6th of August, so not too far away. So yeah, and then after that, I'm trying to get someone who we've all wanted to come on for quite a while. I'm not going to say who it is, just in case I can't get him. But I'm trying to get someone who I've been wanting to get on the show, there's a special guest earworm since I started it. So it's just pegging him down. He's a very busy man, so it's just pegging him down. So anyway, let's go. Right, so have a great weekend, guys. Thank you to Mark. I mean, not Mark. Thank you to Brian, and thank you to Wayne, and thank you to Wayne. That's every week, though, isn't it? Every week, Wayne and Mark.
Every week.
So anyway, thank you to Brian. Thank you to Wayne for coming over and joining us. Hope you've enjoyed yourself. Hope I've given you some ideas. Again, if you got some ones, if you can get the ones over to me by the end of tomorrow night, that would be great, because then I can get a chance to get them in a collaboration to show you guys on Sunday. And we'll be able to see some of the amazing pieces that some people have turned over the week. And thank you for Brian for the challenge. And thank you for Wayne for this week's challenge. So get in your shops, get some turning done, and send them over. Let's have a look at them. Right, so we're going to go. Take care. Speak to you soon. And have a good weekend. See you later. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Oh, there. Good.